present moment. Yeah, that how we are thinking right now. This influences what's going to happen. And again, it's based on that concept that reality begins within. So we have these star knowledge stories of this lady by the name of Wakanka, and Wakanka is a woman who can see the future, but we learn from her about what that means, and that and some of it I already told you. Yeah, that how you are right now. This is influencing the future, and so from her we learn that if we look into the future again tomorrow, it's going to look different. Maybe it's kind of the same, but you're going to see something different. And it keeps doing that. Every time you look, it keeps altering. Some days it might look completely different. And the reason why is because of your thought patterns, of what is happening right now. Yeah, this really, really, really decides those things. And as you change, the future changes. Yeah? As your thought patterns are evolving, your future is changing. So, if you were to see something and you didn't like it, it does not mean it's written in stone. Just change your thought patterns, because remember, it's not here yet. Yeah, so you can still change your thought patterns and do something about it. So we do have an influence over that future, but it all depends on how you live. Yeah, it all depends on what kind of person you are. Have hope. This is influencing a future. It all begins within. That's what I'm trying to say. See, this is what we learned from this lady too. Is that if we saw something we didn't like, we could change it. And likewise, if you're always saying, "Oh, geez, nothing good ever happens to me, man, I'm always going through shit all the time." This is a type of visualization. So when you do this, yes, you are setting yourself up to fail. Yeah? You are creating unnecessary difficulties and obstacles to come into your life. You're doing it yourself by thinking like that. So that's why it's important, to be healthy, to be emotionally healthy, so that we can spiritually develop, so that we can be physically well, so that our minds can be clear as we, differentiate between realistic expectations and unrealistic expectations, so that we can have hope and visualize for a nice future for ourselves. Yeah. So, just because something was said doesn't mean it's going to happen. It could be changed. It could be altered. It can be slowed down. Yeah, we can slow things down that may be coming this way that don't look too good. We can slow it down so we can get ready for it, whatever that is, and go through that storm. We can prepare for that storm and go through it, whatever that is. Yeah, that's a wonderful concept. And when you live like this, even in small situations, this principle shows up. It's really interesting. long time ago, I was playing with this band, Counting Coup. Daryl Lockwood on drums. He's a Mandan Hidatsa from 3 affiliated tribes, Newtown, North Dakota. And Willis Whiteman, Daryl played the drums, and Willis played bass and blues guitar. And Willis is a Northern Cheyenne Arapaho from Wind River Reservation, and myself. We were in a band called Counting Coup, and we were traveling. We did a performance in Pine Ridge, and it was in the wintertime, and we were driving back to Crow Creek Sioux Reservation. That's where Daryl is, and that's a long drive. Yeah, it's a really long drive. And Willis had his car parked at Daryl's, and so I was going to jump in with Willis, and he was going to bring me back to Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation, which is where I lived. And Willis lived in Pierre, South Dakota. So Willis lived between Daryl and I. Yeah. So we were driving back, and Willis was driving. He had a cup of coffee and was driving, and I sat in the front. He said, "Dave, go ahead and doze off." He said, "I'm okay. I'm wide awake." It was about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and so Daryl was in the back. He was crashed out. So I said, "Okay, as long as you think you're doing okay." Said, "Yeah, I'm wide awake," he said. I said, "All right." So I dozed off, and I had my eyes closed, and I fell asleep. Funny thing is, I was dreaming the same thing that's happening. It didn't make sense, and yes, I was asleep. Yeah, and I'll tell you how I knew I was asleep. Okay, we're driving on this road, and we're coming up over this little hill in the dream. Yeah, we come up over this little hill, and as soon as we came over that hill, there was a deer standing on the road. And in the dream, we were going to hit that deer. And as we hit that deer, I woke up. Yeah, I woke up and I looked up and I looked straight ahead of me, and shit, we're on that hill that I dreamed about. So I said, "Willis, trust me." I said, stop. So I said, "Okay." I said, "Crawl over the hill." I said, go really slow over the hill. There's a deer there. Be careful." Really? He said, "Really?" He said, "Trust me." I said, "Just look." So we went over really slow and came over the top. Sure enough, there it was, standing right there. Same position that I just saw it. Yeah? So Willis said, "Go back to sleep and protect us some more," he said. That was funky. Yeah, that was one of the funkiest experiences I ever had. Yeah, they just tuned right into something. Yeah, and see, this can happen. You can experience these kind of things when you believe in this concept that reality begins within. Yeah, it's a really powerful concept. And like I said, I fell asleep real fast because we rocked and rolled 4 hours that night. Yeah, and I was bushed, and I was surprised that Willis still had the power to continue on. And it was kind of snowing that night. Yeah, and but we decided, hey, let's just get on the interstate. As long as the interstate is open, we'll make it, he said. So I said, cool. So we were on our way to the interstate from a smaller road when this incident happened. So, these are the kind of things these are kind of small benefits from living in this kind of lifestyle that you can, at times, kind of, tune into what's going to happen next based on your thought patterns right now. And boy, this was an immediate, yeah, one, because just think we would have definitely hit that deer. We most likely probably would have slid into the ditch, and we probably would have been there for a couple hours before cops drove by or anything like that. So we were very fortunate, yeah. I mean, Willis is a really good driver. I mean, I know for sure we would have hit that deer. Maybe we wouldn't have ended up in a ditch, but we would have still hit that deer. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing that can happen. Yeah, when you live like this, and sometimes you just know. Yeah, like when you're presented with the situation, sometimes you just have this uneasy feeling that something is going to happen, and it does. Like, and sometimes that can be really funny. Yeah, back in 1980 something, uh, this new car came out from Ford. I think it was no Chevrolet. No, wait, I gotta Google this really quick because I don't know exactly the 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 car company. They released a new car that had a radical shape, and oh man, it was ugly. Yeah. Hang on a second. I think it's Chevrolet. 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 Yeah, it's Chevrolet. Oh God, that thing is just ugly. it, it was a 1982, 1983 Chevrolet Citation, and we were in Rapid City or something like. Oh, I think we saw it in the TV commercial, and I said, "Oh, that car looks just ugly." I was thinking. I said that to my mom, and my my mom said, "Yeah, but if somebody offered me a brand new one, I'd take it." She said. I said, "Well, yeah, maybe I would too, but I'd sell it right away and get a different one." And so I was thinking to myself, I said, "Geez, wouldn't that be funny if I ended up with one?" Yeah. And where I was in a situation where I had no choice but to get that one car. And I said that back in, I don't know, 1980, 84, 85 or something like that. And then I don't know, a couple of years later, my car broke down. I mean, it was literally it wasn't worth repairing. And my uncle, he is a car repair guy, and he's a real mechanic. He's not a res mechanic. He's a real mechanic, certified. He has his own business in the Black Hills, and he said he had a used car. He said he fixed it up himself. He drives it around himself, so he knows it works really good. And this guy's like a genius with cars, yeah. And so if he says he has a used car for sale, it's gonna be damn good, yeah. So he asked if I would be interested in it. So I said, yeah. He gave me the price. He said, you could pay me about a month if you want to. He said, I said, okay, that's cool. I said, thanks, I appreciate that. So, and I forgot to. I didn't want to be, you know, like really picky or anything. I was just, when you live on a reservation, things are so damn far apart, you know, that you have to have a car if you're going to get around anywhere. Yeah. So I was just thankful that he came up, he saved the day, that he had a car available. And so I didn't bother to ask him what model or what color or whatever, I just, as long as it was a car, as long as it ran, had four doors and had good engine, stuff like that. And see, this guy he's a genius with cars. So he you get a car from him, it's gonna be damn good, regardless of what it is. Yeah. So he said he was coming to Dupree that following weekend. He said he's gonna drive it in. His wife, who is my auntie, she was gonna follow him with a pickup, so he can go back with her on a pickup. So he's gonna drive the car in. So like a 3-hour drive for them. Yeah. So I said, oh cool, I'm all right. So I was all excited. Yeah. So they were just about it must have been about half hour before they came, and suddenly I got this feeling in my and I started to laugh, and I said, "Gee, wouldn't it be funny if it was a Chevrolet Citation?" That ugly car I said I would never buy. And about 20 minutes later, my mom said, "They're here. Your new car's here." By the tone of her voice when she said that, I knew something was up. So I looked out the window. Shit, lo and behold, there it was, a 1983 Chevy Citation. Oh, shit. So I put my pride down. Yeah, I said, "Hey, it's a car. It works." So I had a Chevy Citation, and I was damn proud of it. Yeah. It was my Citation. Oh shit, that's so crazy. you you see something just goofy looking at it, then you say, "Shit, watch me. I'll bet I'll end up with that." Yeah. Heck, I'll tell you another one. And this one I think you might get a kick out of. Around this time of the year, it's holiday time, and so stores are going to be having all kinds of specials, and a lot of times stores will have like a drawing. Yeah, like this store in Eagle Butte was called Lakota Thrifty Mart. It's a reservation grocery store. It's really big. It's a really nice store. Well, it was when I was there. I don't know what it's like now, but they had this giant Christmas stocking about 2.5 meters tall, and just filled with all kinds of toys and candies and pop and potato chips and all kinds of junk food, and just a fun party thing, yeah. And and then that was first place, and second place was a large, life-sized stuffed animal of a gorilla, yeah. And third place, I forgot what it was. So I was like, man, I'm gonna try to win this stocking, this Christmas stocking. So I bought a crap load of what do you call it, tickets for the drawing. the day the day of the drawing came, and and they called my mom at home because I gave that phone number in case I won, and they called her. Yeah, I said, "David won." I said, "Really?" "Yeah." "So you better make sure you have a big vehicle when you come pick up David's prize." I said, "Oh." She said, "Okay." And she called me at the school because I was still teaching, and so she said, "Should I go pick it up?" I said, "Because I gotta get some food supplies anyway." So I said, "Yeah, that'd be cool. Make sure you help them. They help you load that in." And I was referring to the stocking, yeah. And and so then I walked back home, and I was and then I just got this rugged feeling. It's like, oh Jesus, I really hope I didn't win that gorilla because it was just ugly, yeah. And make sure you bring a big vehicle, that guy said. So I saw headlights. I went outside. I was just anxious, and I was just had this feeling like, oh no, this feeling of, I don't know. It's like, oh jeez, I hope I bet you anything I won that gorilla. My mom was coming down the street, and looked like somebody was sitting in the back, yeah. She pulled in. I opened up that gorilla was the the store guys thought it would be funny to sit him up. This is like a gorilla was riding in the van. Yeah, I said, "Jeez, this thing is ugly." I said, "Can you find somebody who wants this?" And my mom said, "Yeah." She said, "I figured you weren't gonna want it." So, and she said one of her cousins said that if I didn't want it, she wanted it because she wanted to put it on her in her living room couch. Yeah. And she was gonna tease everybody that this was her new boyfriend. Yeah. So I said, "Yeah, go ahead, give it to her." Yeah. I think she'll have more fun with it than me. I'm like, God, this thing is just ugly. So it's interesting, yeah, that how you know you just get this feeling like, oh no, I hope it's not that, and then sure enough it is, and that's a kind of visualization too, yeah. So sometimes they're funny, but then sometimes they're really sad too. Yeah, sometimes they can be really really sad. I know of a guy who um he was moving out from his from the reservation to another part of America, and so he was saying, he got his stuff packed and loaded up into his car, and he was saying goodbye to the relatives, yeah, and this was um, a lot of older people on the res. They don't use internet and stuff like that, yeah, so it's not like he could Skype with him and stuff because they don't know what that is. So he said to his mother, um, he said, because he was hugging the relatives, but his mother seemed to be kind of put off for some reason. So he thought, oh, I better ask her. So he said to her, Mom, can I give you a hug? And she said, no, just go, she said. And so he told me the story, yeah, so that's why I'm retelling it. So he went out of the house, and he's like, dang, he said. So he said that when he was driving away, he thought to himself, wouldn't it be funny? Not haha funny, but wouldn't it be weird funny if this was the last time he saw her alive? And sure enough, yeah, a few months later, she died unexpectedly. So that thought that came to him. Some people may call these kind of things coincidence, but I'm the kind of person that I think that what happened here was he tapped into the future based on the current thought patterns, and because we all have this ability to do that. Yeah, this is how we're designed. It's part of our communication talents. We just have to live in that manner to be able to do those things. Yeah, it doesn't make you any more special. We all have that potential to do these kind of things, and sometimes we do it and we're not even aware of it, but we're doing it in a subconscious way. Yeah. But so that's why when we can become aware of it, we can do it in a conscious way. And so I really messed that guy up. Yeah, that he never really got to say goodbye to his mom. And the last sentence, the last experience that he had with his mother is that she refused to allow him to hug her. That kind of messed him up. Yeah. So just imagine that. Yeah, that he got this feeling that what if that was the last time he saw her alive, and that's the experience that's left. And sure enough, that's what happened. He didn't will it to happen. He didn't cause it to happen. He just tapped into the current thought patterns, and that's what it was leading to. Yeah, he didn't make it happen. He didn't influence it to happen. It already was in progress. He just tapped into it. So really make sure you tell all the people that you love and care about that you do love and care about them. People need to hear that. Just go up there and hug them. Even if they push you away, at least you got the hug in. Yeah? You might just surprise them and then hug them, and if they slap you, and push you away, at least you did it. Yeah? At least you did it. Because you don't want to be like this guy in that he's kind of messed up from that now. That he offered to hug her and she said no, and that was the last. That's the last thing they said to each other. You don't want that to happen to you because that's really sad and that's really gonna mess you up. So, like I said, tell people you love them, especially in this modern day, children and people my generation. We need to hear that. We need to hear our families tell us they love us. Because let me tell you from personal experience, it's really hard when you've never heard any of your older relatives tell you that they love you. That's really hard. They might say, well, nobody told that to us, but that doesn't mean you have to be that way. Us humans, we have this wonderful power called volition, which means that we can change our lifestyles. We can change our family traditions. It's all up to us to want to do that. Yeah? We can, if we've been hurt, we have the power to overcome that and to heal from that and to come to peace with that so that we may continue. So that we can be a blessing to others. We have that choice to do that. We have the choice to make things the way we want them to be. Yeah? But number one, tell people you love them. The people that you do love, tell them. They need to hear it. Even if they say, oh, you don't have to say that, I know. Don't pay attention to that. They're just being nice. The reality is everybody likes to have somebody tell them, hey, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm thankful you're my friend. I'm thankful you're my relative or whatever. Yeah, I had good times with you and I'm looking forward to even more. Let them know that. Yeah, you got to push the ball first before it comes back to you. You don't just play catch with yourself, yeah? You throw it to somebody else. So you make the move first. Yeah, don't wait around. Because that person could die. And you missed the opportunity. Because when you communicate, that returns to you 4 times as strong. That's why I said, make sure you tell your family you love them. Your wife, or your husband, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your the person who takes you to McDonald's. Hey. Tell them you love them. No, seriously. Really, tell people that you do love them, and that you care for them, and that you hope for them, that good things will happen to them. And that if they're going through difficulty, that they'll get through, and that they can count on you to be there to support them. That's what best friends do for each other. That's what family does for each other. Healthy family.